my role today was as a facilitator in the buildings group, which was completely fascinating. Huge range of people from different environments and different specialities, from people working predominantly with local authorities to those working in product installation, in wall insulation of a whole variety of different nature, and also roof builders, house builders, and people from BRE and quite a lot of monitoring organisations, as well as the academic environment. And it's a huge advantage to get all those people together, trying to come up with solutions, but it's so difficult. But it's a real opportunity to do that. There's huge opportunities, I think, at the moment. There's quite a lot of funding, public funding, as well as money from the energy company obligation, though that's changing all the time. But there is a massive opportunity to put in insulation and to allow people to understand what's happening in their homes and in their workplaces. We've been trying to link all that activity together for many years. And as the Scottish Government are putting more money into the insulation installs, there is much more opportunity for people to understand what's happening, particularly in the fuel poverty sector, where we're trying to achieve the Scottish Government aims of a fairer, more equitable Scotland. And the opportunities at the moment are excellent to do so. I think the move towards linking the domestic and the non-domestic sector in the building environment is really important, and that was what was so good within our workshop today, that we had people from both ends of the spectrum. We need to all work together. A lot of the solutions are similar, and there's no reason to separate the domestic and the non-domestic sectors, but because the way a lot of the funding works has been different in the past, it has become a bit more separate. So the huge advantage of Bitesize is that we're actually linking all those sectors together, and the mix of industry and academic environment, as well as the NGOs and those working with public money, is hugely beneficial. Scotland has done a huge amount in terms of leading the way with the Climate Change Act. It's seen within the sector, within European environment, as being ahead of the game. It's really important to retain that. It is an opportunity to, the energy efficiency in particular, because we're predominantly working on retrofit, but also new build. It gives us a huge opportunity in Scotland to work with the skills sector, the construction industry, social services, the NHS, and there aren't many things that cross-cut everybody's lives, and everybody knows they have to pay energy bills. People just do it, but until actually somebody says you can do something different, if you have external wall insulation, it'll have a major impact on your life. If you can't do cavity wall or the less expensive measures, then it's actually helping people to understand both about their energy, but also about how they can change things. In a lot of the environments which was discussed today, people are living in areas where everybody else has high energy bills, because within the village, which is maybe off gas, they're all paying a huge amount for their power, whether it's heat or electricity, and so that becomes the norm. However, with major changes to the build quality of the house or the commercial building, you can have a huge impact. There was quite a lot of discussion today as well about how a lot of the monitoring is theoretical modelling, and there's now increasing work looking at the real energy use and the humidity in properties, and actually how that affects people's health and economy and social environment. So that's happening, but it's still quite low, and I think there's huge opportunity to do that. Scotland's quite a small place. You know, if we can't all work together in this sort of environment, then yeah, we ought to be able to do it here. And I think that's also one of the opportunities, that we can be leading the field in how you address carbon reduction through a whole range of different measures, and help the skills sector and training and all the other avenues that we're trying to achieve in a fairer, more equitable Scotland. I'm hoping that the industry and the Scottish Government and the academic world, as well as the NGOs, can all work together in a really effective way to make a huge difference. One of the really useful things that came out of some of the sessions today was about how it is everybody's responsibility. It's our individual responsibility to make a difference, whether that's affecting policy, but actually we need to do it in our own lives. And there must come a tipping point where you have enough people who are involved in this type of event and really believe it, to actually make a change in how we behave and how we live in the built environment. There was also quite a lot of discussion actually about education, but there is definitely work that suggests that if you do one thing to a house, whether it's external wall insulation, internal wall insulation, or putting in a solar thermal system, as soon as you do one system, you get a 30% reduction in energy use, because suddenly the householders understand what they're doing. It's the same in a commercial building. I would say if you have people who are working in that building and something changes dramatically in their building, they then understand more about energy. And I think the education is all linked in to actually how people live and how they work in the work environments. So the built environment is crucial to what's happening in people's lives. So I think that's a huge advantage of today, that actually we had people working together with different aims initially and different vested interests, which was a lot of discussion about that and potential barriers. But if you can get people all wanting the same thing and working towards the same objective, then I think we can do a lot, make a huge difference across Scotland and much wider a global sense.